Discover the possibilities. Learn a trade. Earn a living. BTVI. Proud, true, blue. BTVI. Since 1980. BTVI. Discover the possibilities.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. It is such a pleasure to have so many of you joining us this evening as we sign on for another dynamic speaker series. For those who may not know, my name is Alicia Thompson, and I am the Associate Vice President of Fund Development here at BTVI with oversight for the Alumni Association. And so it's always so exciting when we can showcase our brightest and best. We encourage you, please, to share your link. Let your friends know that it's going down. Once again, we encourage you to become active. You will not be able to speak during the session, but you can certainly enter your chats. The chat function has been enabled, and we want to hear from you. So we want you to put in those questions that you may have for our speaker, because I tell you, I have been able to meet with her and you are in for a treat. So share the link. All of those persons who are in your WhatsApp group whom you do not see online yet, tell them sign on. And then for the benefit of those who may not make it this evening, we are recording and this will be uploaded to YouTube. So once again, I would like to say welcome, welcome, welcome. You will be formally welcomed in a minute from another one of our alumna, Kimberly Bolag. But just before Kimberly comes on to welcome you here this evening, I'm going to encourage you, if you're an alum of BTVI or ITC or whatever other name our institution may have gone by in a previous time, I want you to just enter that in the chat right now. Put your name, put the year that you graduated. Let us know what program you're in, because we want to send a shout out to you. So without further ado, now I invite Kimberly Bolag to welcome you.
Do the one thing you think you cannot do. Fail at it. Try again. Do better the second time. The only people who never tumble are those who never mount the high wire. This is your moment. Own it, by Oprah Winfrey. BTVI's interim president, Dr. Davis, members of the board, Alumni Association staff consultant, Mrs. Thompson, Madam President, and other executives of the Alumni Association Board, its members, staff members, our distinguished speaker, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my esteemed privilege to warmly welcome you to this month's Alumni Speaker Series. We are in for a treat this evening, and I am excited to learn about our speaker's journey. As Mark Twain once said, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much. And I don't know about you, but if you don't feel welcome by now, I don't know what to say. I see our numbers are rising. And once again, listen, you are in for a treat. You will not regret having signed on to this session. Of course, again, I like to acknowledge the presence of our interim president, Dr. Linda Davis. She is always here with us. Dr. Davis had a very long day today, as you are probably aware of an MOU which was signed earlier. So if you're not sure, then I encourage you to watch television because you're going to see some great news. And that was announced a little earlier today. So thank you so much, Dr. Davis, for always being here in support of our alums. Now, without further ado, we will have the introduction of the speaker by Jetta Says, another one of our alum. Jetta?
Good evening, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our alumni guest speaker for tonight. She is the sixth of 7 children, born in Nassau, Bahamas, and a mother to 1 daughter. Our speaker is the owner of Vintage House of Beauty, located on Marathon Road. She has been in her profession for some 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, our speaker also has a doctorate degree in her profession. Please join me, invited guests and all, as we welcome our speaker for tonight, Miss Eldora McKenzie.
Good evening, good evening. First of all, I'd just like to take this time to thank Ms. Thompson and her entire panel for having me. It's certainly a pleasure to be a part of such an awesome initiative. So I would begin to say how my journey started. Well, it was Industrial Training Center at the time when I first commenced and going there. So it wasn't BTVI then, but Industrial Training Center. So a good friend of mine, he was already enrolled at Industrial Training Center at the time. And he said to me, he said, have you ever thought of enrolling in ITC? And I was like, I never. And he said, you're so good, you're so talented, and I just feel this will be an awesome program for you. So with further ado, I went, picked up an application, filled it out, dropped it off, and that was it. I immediately enrolled. And that was the best decision ever. I was just so excited to know that I was going into a career path that I was so passionate about. So, you know, back then we used to be on the porch with family and friends doing their hair, just experimenting. But at that time, you know, it was just whatever goes then. So it was such an awesome experience enrolling. And during the enrollment period, they would normally send you out on job training. And one of the salons that they sent me to was my instructor. She said, Dora, I know the right salon for you. I have someone for you. So I was like, okay. So she sent me to work to Dot's Beauty Salon. And I was there and working alongside her. She really, really liked my craft. And she had always said I reminded her so much of herself. So she kept me on. And in her training, I stayed there for like 7 years. I worked under her. And when I said she was the best in just being there, she really, really wanted more for me. She encouraged me to take part in seminars, you know, in competition, which we did. And, you know, it was just an awesome experience working with her. And I worked alongside her for 7 years. And after becoming a member of the National Cosmetology Association located right here, I then became a member of the International Cosmetology League. And just attending the seminars, like I say, during the classes, after a period of 7 years, I was able to obtain my doctorate degree in cosmetology. So it was an awesome experience. And you know, just being a part of the international stage was just fitting for me. It was, you know, took me out of my comfort zone, which was awesome. So, you know, kudos to BTVI, you guys. I mean, just a stepping stone for any career path that you would choose. It's an awesome initiative, an awesome school for anyone who does not know where it is that they see themselves or would trade, you know, it'll help catapult them to the next level. So after my time with Dot, I decided to take a leap of faith and I went into renting a booth. I know there's a saying that be careful of the words that you choose because it's power in your words. And I said to myself that I didn't want to rent a booth for no more than 2 years. Well, lo and behold, my 2 years was up. I was served an eviction letter saying that she wanted me out of her salon. I literally thought my world was going to crumble. So I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And during that time, I was already positioning myself to move into my own salon, but it was just not ready. You know, there was still so much more work to be done. And it was just chaotic. It was just a whole lot. So what I decided to do, I moved in and started doing here at my home, and which was not the best idea, but it was a situation that I could not, run from, and I had no other choice. So working from home, it was so uncomfortable sometimes. It's just like I never had a day for me. It was always, anytime a client called, I was always trying to make myself always available for them, So I knew that was not, I wanted to get out and get back into the workplace where I needed to be. So that's when I moved into the vintage. And to be honest with you, I moved in with one used bowl and one used chair, and not even towels on the floor, not even towels. So imagine that, right? So I had some clients came in, and during the service, I could remember the water, there was no water. The water just stopped. I don't know what was going on. And I really literally freaked out. I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. I don't know what to do. I don't have any water. So one of my clients, she said, girl, don't worry about it. I know there's a pump around Peardale. Give me some jugs. I'll go and fill them up and bring them back. And, don't worry about it, Dora. We got you. We got you. So she came, brought the water. I was able to use the water and until the plumber came in to really rectify the problem. So it was just so much. But the saying is, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So I was so grateful for that. And just to see the process and the progress I was able to make after moving into my salon. So the vintage, I've been there, like my speaker said, I've been there for more than 16 years now. And it's been a work in progress, And after getting settled in and everything, we started to, see our way through. It started to come together. Everything, with the moving in and putting everything in place, it started to take fruit and worked out together. But it was not easy. It was never easy, but through persistency, and just knowing that it is something that that God has gifted you with, you will always push through and make it happen. So that's a little bit of where the vintage birth. But now, last year, October, I had the opportunity to speak to a group of students from C.C. Sweeting High School. And I was just sharing the importance of being certified because like I shared earlier, a lot of times, you have stylists coming up now. Everything is so much tutorial out there. Is so much, where they feel like they have the practical down pat and really not the theory. So a lot of them, they go and they feel like they are ready for the work field, and they go into the salon and not even getting the real practical. And that is such a big myth. I encourage them, industrial BTVI, I'll use the right name now. BTVI is the place for wanting to get getting certification. That is the place. Whether you want to be a beautician, a barber, a nail tech, a makeup artist, whatever career path you choose, I feel the certification sets you apart. So I would encourage anyone who's interested in, getting certified, BTVI is the place to go. Okay, so, and now being in the business, like I said, I have given my life to the Lord, and I must say that now that I'm now using my chair as a ministry, not just for my clients to render service, because you have so many persons out there, you know, they want to look good on the outside when on the inside, there are so many things that's going on the inside. And, you know, we are doctors, we are psychiatrists, you know, so we are there to help those not only to look good on the outside, but to help them to feel good on the inside. So I'm always there I'm passionate now about encouraging them as they come in, where there's something going on with work, some family matter, or even their health, you know, whatever it is. I just feel like I'm there. This is my ministry now, to help women who are going through. And I take it a great joy and a great privilege to do that. And, you know, there are just, like I said, in business, there will be times when you feel like you not, you know, made the wrong decision, or it's not going, because not every day is the same. You know, you will always have challenges in your business, but be true to yourself, you know, continue to put God first in every decision that you make, you know, and, you know, that sets you apart from any other business, because people want to know that you care. They want to know that, you know, you have that, you want to see, you're not interested in just making that dollar or that next dollar from them. They want to know that in that service you're giving them, you care about their well-being, you know? So, like I said, I shared with them, and I told them the importance of being certified. It's just too many, quote unquote, salons out there. And really, I mean, you know, the bad report that comes into my salon, it saddens my heart, because I know the effort and the time that I put into going into making sure that I was certified. I went through the training. I went into a salon where I got even hands-on training. So it's so important to do that. No, you know, not jumping into opening your own salon, you know, because that don't always work that way. You know, you have to go through that training. You have to have the right professionalism. You know, customer service is so important. And that's why you find a lot of businesses failing. You know, they don't have that customer service. And I would just, BTVI is that place for job training. It's the full look. You get the full look. You know, it's not just coming in and they telling you, no, you down to the location, finding the right location for your business. You get the entire full look. So I am so grateful for BTVI. And I would just encourage anyone out there, you know, this is the place to enroll. So thank you so much again, Ms. Thompson.
Okay, so are there any questions? Listen, I have a question right off the bat, you know.
Okay.
You indicated that you were on the porch. You did some work on the porch, right?
Yes.
Why didn't you stay on the porch?
Because I knew I wanted more for myself. Definitely wanted more for myself. I could not continue a career path on the porch. And then you could demand more when you in the business field, in the business realm. You could demand more on the porch. They can pay you the porch money.
Well, I got another question.
Okay.
You indicated that when you went out on your own, you know, the water was out that day, you know.
Yes.
Why didn't you just give up when the water went out? Why didn't you take that as a sign that, you know what, Lord, this means that I need to go back and find a store to work in? Why didn't you stop right then when the water went out?
Oh no, giving up was never an option for me. Never an option. So persistency is my number one key. Is you have to keep, and I motivate myself. So when that water turned off, I was like, no, this isn't gonna happen. There's something, you know, we're gonna make this happen. with, you know, and having the right people around you too, because my client was like, we got you. We're gonna help you through this. We're gonna help you through this. So
I saw a question. What was the most challenging part of your career?
the most challenging, I would say, I think during the time that I was evicted, because, you know, it's one thing knowing your next step, but when someone serve you a letter with no notice, I mean, I didn't even have 2 weeks notice. It was less than 2 weeks notice. So that was the most challenging part of my career. And I really thought I hit rock bottom when that happened. And I had to come home to work until my business, my salon was ready, because there was just so much going on there. And then I had invested so much into my salon already. So going to rent a salon space would have been kind of challenging on my funds for me. So I just decided to come home and work from home.
I see you, Yvette. You have a client, Yvette. Yvette says, my beautician, the best ever, humble and God-fearing.
Thank you.
Your business is the Vintage.
Yes.
Where does that name come from?
Well, to be honest, the building that I'm in now, I purchased that building. So when I got that, it was a house, a 5-bedroom home. And the vintage really means old, like, you know, antique more so. And it was an old home. And the renovation that I put into it, I just thought the name was quite fitting for the building. So it was more so where I got it from.
Now, ain't nothing you can't find on YouTube.
I know.
I mean, you could color hair, you could cut hair, you could learn to do makeup. Why shouldn't students just go on YouTube?
And like I said earlier, you know, it's okay that they get that craft. I'm not going to knock them for getting the practical down pat, but especially in the environment that we were in just a few years ago with COVID, you know, a lot of stylists, younger stylists out there now, they don't even know the importance of using barbicide, you know, using, you know, to sterilize their combs. A lot of them don't know it. And it's so important to do those things now, even beforehand, before COVID. This was something we were supposed to practice in the salon from before that. So a lot of times the ones who taught themselves online, they don't know the whole aspect of sanitization. So that is so important.
Okay. Someone's asking about this balance. How did you balance school, or what advice would you give on balancing school and running a business?
In terms of them being in high school or?
No, and I'm thinking that this would be, let's say, BTVI, or not only balancing the school, but give us some advice about running a business.
All right. Sorry, Ms. Thompson.
No problem.
Okay, go ahead one more time for me, please.
Okay, I'm trying to get the full sense of this question.
Okay.
That's asking about creating a balance. What 3 bits of advice would you give students while navigating school and running a business?
Okay.
So go ahead.
Okay. The advice that I would give, because it's not easy to run a business, and I always feel, especially in a new business, you have to be present. You have to be present. It's very hard to juggle between work and your business, because, you know, you have to oversee and you have to make sure when that client walk in and they want a particular service, you have the right person to the door to make sure, because I always feel you can give 100 into your business. Someone else will not give the same percent that you would give to your business. So it's difficult. I understand it's not as easy working and running a business, but as much time as you could spend in your business to make sure that grow to a certain level, then I could see you, you know, being away from it. But once you're you have to be in your business. You have to be there in order for that to run successfully. So
I see a question here. Were there moments when your customers played the role as if they were the stylist and you were the customer?
of course, many times. many times. But you have, I try to, and I'm always trying my best to give clients what they want, So when they come in with the photos or on their phone and, you know what works for them, what is right for them or what suits them. So you have to be in a nice way, firm, but nice, and say to them, well, I don't think this particular style will work for you, or maybe let's try it this way. But they don't, some of them, they're very aggressive, but you have to be firm, but nice.
There's a question. What requirements would a new cosmetology student need to work in your salon?
Certification. You have to be certified. So whether it's BTVI or abroad, you have to be certified.
Can you tell me whether you had any regrets on going on your own? I know it's very safe to be working with someone because at the end of the day, you don't have the rent to pay, you don't have the other overhead, utilities, etc. Any regrets?
Absolutely none. Absolutely none. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I could tell you, if prior to getting my own salon, if I had found a place that I was very comfortable in, I taught a full ambiance, and I think I would have been right there still working to the day. But I have no regrets.
How did you know that it was time for you to go out on your own?
After internship or after
No,
Booth?
on starting your own business. How did you know that it was time to cut all the navel strings and just go out on your own?
Well, to be honest, the clientele grew so much. My clientele grew. And I knew that I needed to be in my own salon. It was just tremendous how my clients grew over the years, and wanting to service the type of service and the atmosphere I wanted to offer them. I knew I had to be in my own space for that.
Tell us about the secrets to your success.
God, putting him first now. And like I said, not every day was the same. I always believe in season, time and season. And you have to recognize which season you are in your business. And I had some drought. I can truly say that there was some dry season, but I stayed true to myself. I trust God through the whole process. It's a part of development, maturity. And I continue to just, acknowledge him, tithe from my business. That helped my business to grow a lot. And it's only him.
There's a comment. Your testimony assures entrepreneurs and business owners that perseverance and self-motivation pays off.
Yes, it
Great
does.
job, Dora. Keep
Yes,
so.
Thank you.
What do you say? Because we all know that even today in 2023, we still have parents who want their children to be doctor, lawyer. Not that there's anything wrong with being doctors and lawyers, don't get me wrong. And you'd have people who are condescending almost. So those who say, oh, she's only a hairdresser, or he's only a carpenter, or there goes a plumber. What do you say to people who want to pursue this career path? What do you say to that mother whose child comes home and says, Mommy, I want to hear, that's what I really want to do. What do you say to that parent? And then what do you say to that student who wants to pursue that? So first of all, what do you say to that parent who's going to hit the roof and say, I sent you to school all these years, and you what do you want to do here? And then what do you say to the student who sits aside and wonders, well, something must be wrong with me because everyone else won't be nurse and doctor, but I want to hear.
To that parent, a lot of times we as parents, we always choose our career path or think what is right for our career path for us, our children to pursue, And like you said, not all are called to be doctors and lawyers. we have to give them that opportunity to decide on what it is or what is their fit. Because, you know, we have, all of us are blessed with gifts, whether it's speaking, whether it's whatever it is, God bless all of us with a gift. Some of us not born to sit in the office, you know, or, you know, understand. So your trade, he said, your gift will make room for you. So to that parent, know that this is a career. It's one that was blessed by God to us. And I would tell them, you know, just let that child to be themselves, knowing what works for them and what they are passionate about. Because a lot of times they, you know, successful in obtaining degrees. And when they come home, they realize, like, this isn't what I want to do. Mommy wanted me to be a lawyer. Mommy wanted me to be a doctor, but this is really not what I want to do. You know, they find that, you know, they good with their hands. They want to do carpentry. You know, they want to be a barber. They want to be a nail technician, you know, and that's something they are most passionate about. So we have to allow them to be themselves and to find their fit, to know what works for them, what they are passionate about, what they wake up every morning excited and driven to do. So that's the one thing I would say to the parent. Now, to the aspiring students coming up, think about COVID again. When the office was closed, persons couldn't work. We could have worked if we wanted to, because you had the nurses out there who still had to go to work, the police officers who had to go there. They didn't want to go with all the facial hair on their face, or their hair not combed. So I had a few that came to my home and said, Dora, I need you. Can you please do this for me? So we were still able to maneuver during that lockdown period. So this, and like I said, a lot of times I even hear my clients say to me, girl, I wish I had your trade. Like, I would not be on this job today. I would be right here doing my thing. And I, you know, so it's a beautiful career path, one that I chose and one that I would choose again and again, because I am truly passionate about it. And this is, your career is, it sets you aside. It does set you aside from every other career out there. So don't be afraid, and don't look at this as just a hairstylist. This is a career.
Powerful. So you just let us in on a secret. So we know who the really essential workers were. Because trust me, we know we got, I mean, if you were like me, you were getting cabin fever, you locked away. You know, you waited until the news came on. And when the news came on, you always saw the beautiful hairstyles. And
Yes.
you saw the beautiful makeup, and you were like,
Right.
She ain't that good. She ain't do that makeup herself. We know she ain't fix her hair. So thank you for letting us in on that little secret.
Yes.
Your daughter, Japhia? How's it?
Japhia.
Oh, yes. Boy, Japhia is quite proud. Japhia says, I am beyond proud of you, Mommy. I remembered it all from the first day you started the vintage. You've done an amazing job. Keep soaring and putting God first. Oh, man, that's powerful when your child could send that message to you. Whoo. Tell me. You told us about, we heard how you, not only did you go to ITC, but then you went on. Why didn't you stop at what ITC taught you? Certainly, I mean, that was good enough, but why did you continue up to the level now that you are called doctor in your craft?
Well, it was ITC, I would say, was just a stepping stone for me. And I believe that in the field, you have to be on the cutting edge. So you have to continue on every year to, you know, get better and better in your craft. You can't just freeze curl, that's a past. Pinups, that's a thing of the past. So you have to stay on the cutting edge. And I always, and every year, I'm sure Daughter's in the Zoom room, we still travel together. We still attend seminars together, you know, and I'm so grateful for her because she was the one to introduce me to all the hair shows. My first hair show was her, and still it's an ongoing thing. Every year we try to do one show per year. So and I've even been a part of a competition abroad. So it kind of give you a different side of what's going on and what's out there. So it hype you up. So when you get home and you get back into your salon, you know that you have so much more to offer. And, you know, you want to try out the new style, or you want to try the new technique, and, you know, so, and your clients be happy to hear that also. They want to know that, you know, she's doing things to keep up, you know, abreast of what's going on or what's out there. Like, Dora, you know how to do this technique. You saw this before, you saw this being done. We have to keep going. We have to keep it going.
And I want to say publicly, thank you to Dot as well. Thank you, Dot, and the Dots of this world for being there for our students. And, you know, once they have graduated, thank you, because we find that many times you have persons who may work with you for a while, and then once you've decided to move on, then they catch feelings. So they'll be the very one to say, child, don't go down there.
Right?
No, I teach her everything she knows. Don't go. But we say thank you.
Yes.
Something.
She's a big sister to me.
I'm telling you. So why is it? I want you to speak to our students and our alums. Why is it so important then to not only cultivate these relationships, but to maintain these relationships as professionals in the same industry?
My mother used to always say, you don't burn bridges, because you never know when you have to go back. I could share personally, when I left Dot's Beauty Salon, I needed her to do something so important. I wouldn't go into all the detail, but I needed more so like a job letter, like a reference, not even a reference. This was so, I mean, like, it was so important and so dear to me that I knew that I could have go to her. So imagine if I didn't have that relationship with her. How could have gone back to her and say, Dot, I need this letter from you. So we have to continue to, you know, encourage one another as we, you know, part separately. And that's what a good teacher does. You share your knowledge, you keep the relationship, and, you know, you just don't cut it off. You get scanned. And I know I have so much respect for her. And like I said, she was one that always encouraged me, always, throughout my career. So I can always tell them, you know, you don't burn bridges, because you never know when you have to go back.
There are
You know.
lots of cosmetologists out there. I mean, you can find hairdresser shops wherever you go. And I don't mean to be disrespectful when I say hairdresser. So you find the salons, pardon me. You find the salons, I mean, almost as frequently as you find the churches, right? It's plenty.
Right.
So what is your advice to the young cosmetologists? Because we tend to find people who would bad mouth, you know, say, child, you're going down there to that salon, she ain't know what she doing. Is there sufficient business out there for everyone? What's your advice to people entering this field?
I believe that there's business for everyone out there, because the one thing I could say, you find that one thing that you truly like in the whole broad span of cosmetology, right? And you capitalize on that, where you make that you specialize on that, I should say. And, you know, you would have clients. Well, I know I have one person who comes to me. She said, well, you know, I have a go-to girl for a cut. I have a go-to girl for a weave. I have a go-to girl for this. So there's enough clients to go around, you know. And even in salons now, I feel like professionalism, and once you continue to be professional in your craft, you wouldn't have to worry or even have to go and look for or advertise, I should say, because, you know, word of mouth is the best. It is the best advertisement. And if you don't offer professionalism, I don't care how good you are, people are not going to come to you. They are not going to come to you. So having the right attitude, you know, and the full professionalism, it's going to draw clients to you. It will continue to draw clients to you. So it's no worries. I know we do have a lot of salons out there. A lot offer all different services, and everyone, you know, find their wherever they feel comfortable and going. So, you know, just don't worry about what's around or what's out there. Just be true to yourself.
Tell us a bit about your time at ITC. BTVI as it was named at that time. Tell us about your time. What specifically did you learn there? Because yet again, we still have this misconception that, oh, child, she going to school down there at BTVI, they ain't doing much. They may teach her how to wash hair and put curlers, because I remember the big curlers now. I never had enough hair to put them big curlers in, but I'll never forget them big plastic curlers. We just put the clip in. Tell us about your time at ITC. What exactly did you learn there?
Quite a bit, quite a bit. I mean, the thing is, I enjoyed, I literally, Miss Knowles, Betty Knowles was my instructor then. She was DOT instructor also, by the way. And I feel like the whole broadband is even helping you to be better at what you do, like in terms of doing a roller set, like you used illustration. You know, I never could have put those clips in really good, secure them in, because my rollers used to be falling down. So it helps you to better the craft and the rodding and all that. And the one thing that I ran away from when I was at ITC then is Jerry curls. That was a service I ran from all the time because I could not get those rods tight enough for my curl pattern to be firm. So even working at DOT, I ran away from it, or I shy away from Jerry curls. She said, so what are you going to do when you have a client come in for Jerry curls? I said, I'm going to refer them to you. But I had an awesome experience at BTVI. I did. It was something that I look forward to every day because I knew once I got on the campus, there was something new that I was going to learn and something new for me to go home to work on to better with my, get better with my craft. Finger wave was a thing back then too. So, trying to get those, and now it's it's present now. A lot of persons is wearing it now and getting the wave pattern, and the instructors there was, it was just phenomenal because it was something they worked with to make sure you knew what to do and you knew when not to do it. So I had an awesome experience there.
Well, we know that you're excellent at your craft, so much so that when I sent the blast out last evening, right, to everyone to let them know, hey, we're going to have Eldora, and someone sent a note back, please send me the link. I have a meeting tonight, but I can cut my meeting short. I said, hold on now. I said, not on Sunday. You can't, you think she coming on Sunday? Please, it's tomorrow. And so they were very excited. Now I know that you're excellent at what you do, but I know some things went wrong. Tell us about the worst hairstyle or the biggest mistake you made on someone's head. I need to hear this.
Ooh. Well, let me share my worst experience, and that was working by dots. Let me tell you what happened. I had a client came in and she wanted a dye, a permanent color dye. Back then, Clairol, we used to use Clairol a lot in the salons then. And what happened was she had an allergy reaction from the Clairol. Whew, I cried. Her face was swollen. Her head pussed. I had to shampoo her hair like every day at the salon. I would ask her to come in. It was so bad. I've never seen anything like that before. I've never even experienced anything like that. That was traumatizing for me. It was so bad. She was disfigured. Her face was swollen. She was like, it started out with a small itch and it just got, after time, it just got worse. And I felt so bad. And when I saw her, I literally broke down crying, and Dot was there to comfort me and say things that has happened. Sometimes you have to do a patch test or ask them if they have any allergy reaction from dyes or anything like that. So it was a nightmare for me. And that still will live on with me forever. So now any client coming into the salon, first thing I ask, do you have any allergy reaction from dyes? Do you have used dye before? So that was my worst. It was my worst. And she said her husband couldn't take to lay on the side of her because her hair was it was bad. It was really bad.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for sharing. And therein was that important lesson about consultation, right? Client
Yes, yes,
consultation. Yeah.
yes,
Woo.
yes, yes, most definitely.
So I give you an opportunity now to do a humble brag. So you get an opportunity to say to us why you are the greatest cosmetologist in the world.
Why am I the greatest? My humility. Um, Putting clients first. I truly believe that without them, we won't have a job. So we have to remain humble, continue to always meet their needs. Yeah, and the love of God I have in me now. I mean, even from then, I was always that sweetheart, always try to always, put people before myself. Yeah, so, and showing empathy, a lot of times people, they just so harsh and they just trying to get you in and out. They don't care about what's going on with you or, you know, trying to figure out like how was your day, get more involved, make it more than a client-based relationship. You want to make it more family oriented. So when they come and they feel relaxed, they want to know that they are home, they could kick off their shoes and they could share things comforting, being just being able to share. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying. So it speaks volume for who I am. I feel like they could be themselves around me, no matter what the circumstances is, whether they want to cry or they just feel like they just got to vent and let some heat off, whatever it is. I always try to make them feel as comfortable as possible. And I think that what makes me the best.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This has really been, worth the hour that we have spent. All right. So now I would like to invite Ms. Jetta Sayers back. Jetta Sayers with the thank you.
Mhm.
Good evening once again.
Good evening.
I feel incredibly honored and privileged to have been allowed to extend the vote of thanks on this, our second alumni series for this year, 2023. Of course, behind the success of every alumni lies the effort and hard work of talented faculty and staff who shape and inspire all of us to become responsible citizens. We undoubtedly cannot take this credit away from our teachers who have constantly inspired us to excel in whatever we do. Please allow me an opportunity to thank our esteemed speaker for tonight, Ms. Eldora McKenzie, whose awe-inspiring presentation spoke volumes of endless possibilities at BTVI. On behalf of our board of directors, our interim president, Dr. Linda Davis, our advisor, AVP Alicia Thompson, executives of this Alumni Association, administrators, faculty, and staff, we say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to attend this night's session. Back to you, AVP Thompson.
And thank you so much for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I told you it was quite exciting. It was an exciting evening. But before we go, we would like to invite Kadrin Carey, president of the New Providence Alumni Association, with some updates. Kadrin?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Ms. McKenzie. Thank you for sharing your insight and experiences with us. Your speech has been truly inspiring and informative, and I am sure everyone here has gained a lot of valuable knowledge and wisdom from your words. As an alumni, it's always great to hear from a fellow graduate who has gone gone on to achieve such great things in their career and is willing to come back and share their wisdom. Your success story is a testimony to the power of hard work, dedication, and perseverance in your own life. And you are also a woman of God, which is truly a great motivational and inspiration to all of us here tonight. Once again, thank you for taking time out to come and speak to us, alumni, and the greater audience who is here. Contribution to us is invaluable. Now for alumni updates. We would like to thank everyone who was in the meeting tonight, alumni, and I'm sure you have a lot of friends, family, and well wishes. As we saw in the chat, everyone is here for you, Ms. McKenzie. We enjoyed your presentation tonight. But if you are alumni or not, let's just say we all have alumni memorabilia and items that you can purchase. We have bumper stickers, we have custom lapel pins, we have lanyards, and much more items that can be purchased at the Alumni Fund office on campus, or you can send an email to alumni@btvi.edu.bs, or you can phone us at 502-6323-1, and we'll be happy to accommodate you. We also have in the room tonight, I think I saw some persons here. We have 3 chapters, Ms. McKenzie. I don't know if you know, but we're expanding this year. We have chapters here in New Providence. We have chapters in Grand Bahama. And last year, we recently added a chapter in Andros.
Wow.
So we are, yes, we are poised. We are poised this year for doing even more and wonderful, great things. For the month of March, the New Providence chapter, we plan to do our annual church service. We will have a flyer and announcements for that. So please watch your email, watch our social media, and we will put it up. All are invited. Last year's service was tremendous. The service actually, I found it to be inspirational. We also have a new venture that we are offering, and we're seeking volunteers for that. It's a it's a reading venture that we have, where we actually are asking any alumni to come and read a book, Bahamian book, to the nursery we have on campus. And the little ones there, they enjoy just any attention you can give to them. So we're asking for volunteers. You come, you read a book on your lunch hour, sit and talk with them. We do have a schedule available, so you can put your name in the chat, or you can send an email to us, as well as other volunteer actions and events that we have going on. So all of this, you can send your email to alumni@btvi.edu.bs, or 502-6323-1, and we'll be happy to take your email and you can just volunteer. Those were the alumni events for this month. Next month, we will have more alumni events along with other activities. Thank you so much, A.V. Thompson.
Awesome.
And thank you again. Once again, we want to say thank you, thank you all for joining us. That brings us to the end of another exciting edition, and we'll see you again next month, same time, same place. Have a wonderful evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much again.